All right. So I didn't realize what lap 13, um, Max had DRS problems. Oh yeah. Sunshine. Can you hear me now? Goodness gracious. Can you hear me now? Just trying to talk to you for a minute and you're just staring at whatever it was you were staring at. Ah, yeah, I didn't realize that lap 13 Max had DRS problems, which further makes it impressive that he won the whole fucking thing.
And he also spun into the gravel.
Yep. Spun into the gravel, had DRS problems, and still won the shit. It's impressive. And then Leclerc loses power at 27. Damn. Perez, just let me race him. Just let us have fun. We're not going to touch cars, I promise. We're well ahead of everybody. Okay, let's just see who will win. I think as a team, though, you should kind of be afraid that your golden boys, Max, and like, what if you do decide to let them race and Checo comes out and just beats him every time?
I don't
Like,
think that happens, but
I mean, I don't think it happens either. I'm just saying, like, there's that what if factor. That'll definitely get into Max's head. And especially if he's vying for points. I mean, strategically, if you're talking about points and everything, it's smart to just do it that way. They got the 1-2 anyway. So it's super max, right? That's what they call them. Like super max prism. Fucking A, your ADHD is insane. Wow. So K earlier at like 6:07, he's like, I'm waiting on you. I'm like, for what? Hey, you know we're not going into 7, right? He's like, oh shit. And then Matt Six puts it on, hey, at least he was on time. And now I'm looking at the time going like, yeah, he was an hour on time. Now he's not about to be on time for the actual show. That's like, oh yeah. Double whammy on that.
Fucking hockey. The longest playoff period in sports history. Jesus
Pay
Christ.
attention. Pay attention. Shit. I don't pay attention to hockey, and I don't pay attention to baseball. Fuck it, baseball. They didn't let Bonds in. I'm just kind of like, fuck 'em. I don't care anymore.
What, hockey?
No, baseball. I'm saying I don't pay attention to baseball or anything either.
Oh. Are we live?
On YouTube, yeah. That's what's up for people. Not show everybody your dick. Put some pants on.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Just like when we were fucking kids. Jesus Christ. People who don't know this, some bitch as a child like to run around with a stripper baby. Just get home, take his pants off just immediately.
You need to
Celtics,
memo casual Fridays.
casual Fridays on a Monday, you ask?
Casual.
Celtics are beating the Heat right now. The Warriors are about to prove me right.
What, they're gonna lick a dick or what?
No, before the series with the Mavs even started. I mean, it was, I'm not going to lie, it was one of those just kind of like,
Who's playing hurt now?
nobody's playing hurt. They're just outplaying the Mavericks. They're up 3-0 right now. I said they were going to sweep the Mavericks. It was hella funny. You go back on the live, like, like I was talking up Luka because they had just got done beating the dog shit out of the Suns in Game 7, and everyone thought the Suns were going to be making the finals and stuff like that. So they beat the shit out of them. So I'm over here talking up Luke, and I'm like, yeah, no, Luke is the truth. Luke is like, he's that guy. He's this, and that. Just talking up the Mavs. And then when it came to what I thought the series was going to be, I said, fuck it, Warriors are going to sweep them. I was like, Warriors in 4. I brought out the broom and everything and did a little. And now they're up 3-0. I'm like, well, damn, okay. Something that started off as a fuck it joke might actually come to fruition. What?
Is everybody out?
What? Yes.
Come on, man.
No,
I gotta get to bed. Where's everybody at?
I try to tell Kay, like, it sounds like, hey, you were on time. Now,
See what I deal with.
okay, superstar. An hour early, but late to the show. Ah, Jesus. I mean, we bullshit. Fuck, okay, I'm coming. Watch it. This motherfucker. I'm watching the game too. I'm here. God damn. What are we doing, Kay? This guy. We apologize.
Matchstick's getting on or what?
No, Matchsticks is taking leave of absence due to his schedule being hectic, not just at work, but DJing. So he's like touring with, like I don't know how many people already. Bubba Sparks and everything. You know who Bubba Sparks? You know who Bubba Sparks is, right?
Booty, 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 rocking everywhere. It's the booty song.
It's the booty song. It's the booty song. You really used to call it that, huh? Kid, what's that song? Hey, can we play that song? What's it called? The booty song. That's what it is. The one that goes just booty, 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 booty everywhere. Yep, we know exactly. You're gonna turn yourself into a fucking meme if you don't fucking stop fucking around with the
Well, he already did it for me. It's all good.
With the Shannon Sharp voice.
Let go of me. You're so funny. Let go. Tom ready to go right there.
I had one waiting specially for you, Caleb.
It's going to be hard to really talk to him because, again, he hasn't been paying attention to really shit that's been going on.
Oh,
anything that he was a fan of previously, that's kind of out the window, right?
Oh, no, I got that. But right now, fuck, I thought I sent it to my computer. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Fails?
At least it's on.
A little bit. It's delayed, but it's
All right, let's just start it off real quick. Right? 5, 4, 3, 2. Supermax strikes again in Spain. Dan Snyder getting forced out of the NFL. Former Broncos wide receiver leaked the United Airlines employee. Lakers are holding out hope on Doc Rivers. And are the Warriors about to prove me right? Oh, shit. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the All-Pro JAFFO, the PvP podcast, where we bring you the highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. I'm your host, JP. Alongside me, as always, the 6'10 beast from the Southeast, Mr. Country K.
Konnichiwa, people.
And joining us for his usual Formula One talk at the beginning of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Sunshine.
Get that shit off my screen, Country K. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Please know this episode brought to you by Popple, the #1 digital business card platform for teams and individuals. Go to popple.co and use the promo code PVP family for 25% off at checkout. Popple, we help professionals network better. To start everything off,
Well, just went down the shitter for whatever that guy's background is. Fuck.
I mean, you got Matt Ryan now. Does that matter? Does that mean anything to you?
Honestly, I should have expected this.
As soon as Andrew Luck left and said, "Fucking him out," I was like, "You know what? I'm out too."
Yep, that's me. That's me right now. What the fuck?
I was ready.
Here's a douchebag.
I was ready for the slander from Caleb. I swear to you, I was ready.
I should have expected this.
I mean, as much as he does,
we're not getting any more cupcake quarterbacks. Yeah.
No more cupcake quarterbacks. Matt Ryan. That's what we got. The Atlanta Falcons 28-3 guy. That guy. Yeah, that guy. Super Bowl. That guy. Jesus Christ. Well, hey, I mean, I guess you picked a hell of a time to back out of watching football and focus solely on Formula One. Because if you were watching any sports for the teams that
it just makes me happy. Formula One makes me happy. Everything else is just like I've expected it.
It's just stress for no reason.
I mean, the Celtics do their thing, but it's still basketball.
Oh, you're a Celtics fan too? Oh man, I'm sorry.
I told you this. I wouldn't say I'm sorry, bro. You guys are losing by 30 points.
Oh, I know. But no, honestly, I expected to lose tonight. That's why I said Heat in 6. I said this from before the series started.
Yep. And then they're gonna get dicked by the Warriors again.
Maybe. I don't know.
No.
That might be possible.
We'll wait to defensive.
Sorry. Well, a West Coast team, we'll say.
No, we're taking them out. If we make it to the finals, it's over. It's like
That's
like
what you
when
said
the
the
Bucks.
last
No, when I said I said if we beat the Saints in the playoffs, we're going to the Super Bowl. I said we beat the
No,
Packers.
you said he's talking about the Heat last time they were in the finals during the bubble. You said the same thing.
Hey, look, no, I was
We
talking
make it, we're
shit
going.
because I was a
We
fan,
make it, we're
but
going.
off camera, I was like, we playing fucking LeBron. We're playing LeBron James, bro. We about to get our ass whooped. I promise you that. I'm a
You
fan,
were
but I'm a realist.
optimistic for the camera. It's like as soon as the camera turned on, hey, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about on there. They're about to get their asses whooped on this shit.
Bro,
This isn't about to be close.
it's LeBron, bro. Like when LeBron gets to the finals, it depends on who they play. Like they gotta have like an immense amount of power, like the Warriors had. Like if
They got to be
LeBron would
playing.
play,
They got to be playing the early Heat LeBron, the one who couldn't play in the fourth quarter.
oh no, you tripping. Because
That
he
LeBron.
only lost one. He lost to two teams that were actual real teams. The Dallas Mavericks with Dirk
Who else is he
Nowitzki
supposed to play in the finals?
and the
Scrub
Spurs.
team?
No, I'm not saying that, but it's a lot of shit. It's some scrub teams that made the finals. I'm gonna be honest.
Who?
A few.
Scrub teams to make the finals.
Yeah,
Hold on,
teams
before we
that
get into
luck.
Formula One real quick, I just want to know this. Scrub teams that made the finals.
Yeah, some teams that's like they're really
Like the Cavs every time LeBron went.
a team overall. They was
Yeah.
overall they
That's
was
what I'm saying.
lying.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not
A
lying.
scrub team, it perfectly
LeBron was
embodies
just that guy.
LeBron's career. Being on scrub teams and
He's carried them.
yeah.
But before he got sick of it and just decided to
I'm
bring in
gonna
a
do
whole
what
era of super
everybody else
teams.
is doing
He
and
didn't
join
bring
a
in that era. See, the thing is, people give him that.
He popularized it.
Nah, the thing was, people keep making that claim, but Boston Celtics, his team, KG wasn't from the Celtics. He didn't get drafted there. Ray Allen definitely didn't get drafted there. The only people that got drafted there was Rajon Rondo and Paul Pierce. I'm like, come on, man, that was a Celtics team. LeBron kept losing too.
That
He
was
kept
the
losing
first like
to
super
Celtics.
team that they had put out. They had won that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
They like actually fucking publicized them as like the
Anything
big
is
three and
possible,
everything.
motherfucker. Anything is possible. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck.
You
And
got
then they
title out of
slander
it.
LeBron. You slander LeBron. That's fucking crazy.
I'm
Not
just
you,
saying the
but I'm
early
saying-
part of his career. Early part of his career, he was nowhere to be found in the fourth quarter, and that's statistically a fact.
Yeah, he had
After
to
that-
learn how to win. He had to
Yeah,
learn how
well,
to
exactly. He got over that hump, and then finally brought one to Cleveland because Draymond
And
can't
then
stop
fucking
kicking
left.
people in the fucking nuts, and
He's
then
a
fucking left again.
win. Draymond Green is a habitual dick kicker, and I've been saying that all day on Facebook. I don't know if you've
And
seen him
LeBron
argue.
James is a habitual mover. What
I'm not
team
gonna
do I
say-
go to next?
See, it ain't even like that. Like the thing is, when you sit here, when the
I ain't
owner of
going
the
nowhere,
team-
Cleveland. I'm staying here forever. We're gonna win more of these.
Yeah,
Gone the next year. The
the
fuck?
owner of the team.
I'm
put
going to
out a
LA.
letter.
My bad.
The owner of the team put out a letter saying LeBron quit on them boys. What do you want him to do? You keep playing for the same owner?
Hey,
can
after
just
he
carry-
won, he left, bro. I'm just saying. He could have stayed.
He could have stayed, but like, come on, you know Kyrie was leaving. You know Kevin Love was old as dirt. You got to rebuild a team at his age. He was like, what, 32? You got to rebuild a team at 32
Technically
years old?
rebuilding every team he goes to because he brings all of his boys with him. The team
Yes,
was
no.
ass. The
I'm
team
not
was
going
ass before they
until
got
I
there.
have the exact team that I handpicked.
Hey, look, I'm gonna be
The
honest
team
with you.
before he gets there, they suck ass, and then they trade everybody and their mama to get everybody that LeBron wants on the
To
team.
get a starting
That's why the
five.
Lakers look like
was
the way
once.
they look like right now.
Happened one time. that was
that's
one
happened
time.
more times than that.
No,
No.
not really.
It happened with LeBron one time, and then the rest of the league followed suit.
Pretty much, everyone's trying to
That's
recreate
why I
their
don't
own
watch
big
basketball
big
anymore.
three.
It's like whoever has the most superstars is going to whoever's got.
Well,
the
I mean,
most
if that was the
stars.
case, the Lakers would be in the finals right now. But that's definitely not the case. Lakers suck this year.
Fucking-
Well, the Lakers don't have the most superstars. That's based off of that theory. That's incorrect.
What?
It would be, the Lakers don't have the most superstars. They got
You look
LeBron,
up their
AD,
lineup
and
and you
Russell.
tell them. And
LeBron,
then
AD, and Russell.
they had
Melo is
they
a
had-
legend. He's not a superstar anymore.
Oh.
Melo is a legend. He is a legend in the game, but he is no longer a superstar. Everybody know that. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. That's like-
He ain't anywhere near what he used to be.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
Like, come on.
No.
That's what I mean. He's not a superstar anymore. So they only got 3 superstars. If you really look at it, I would say the Nets should have been in it in the beginning because they had the same amount of superstars and they were in their prime. James
Yeah,
Harden,
Kyrie couldn't play
Kyrie,
half the games because he didn't want to vaccinate. That was
Hey,
that
look,
point.
man. Hey,
Let's go.
he played the long game, and they
And
really.
then they got swept by the Celtics.
You know what I'm saying? Them boys hated Kyrie.
I
Them
didn't
boys
watch
hated Kyrie.
that shit, but I ain't sorry.
He's like, I don't watch it. Well, let's get the reason why. Let's get to the reason why
straight
Sunshine
hatred.
is here. Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of hatred for Kyrie over there in Boston. Anyways, Max Verstappen, we said, struck again. I was telling Sunshine off air, it just every time he finishes, at least on paper, the way it looks, every time he finishes in first. He has what?
He got lucky this round.
He did. Absolutely, he did. I mean, in lap 9 on turn 4, Verstappen actually ran his fucking car into the gravel. Got it out of there, kept it into the race. So he didn't have to get out or anything else like that. And then in lap 13, he couldn't use the fucking DRS to speed up and get around everybody the way he normally would. And then the luck just changes, especially in 27 when Leclerc, who was leading, what'd you say, by like 30 seconds?
It was a
at
good
one point?
30 to 40 seconds that he was on his own, bro. There wasn't anybody in the rear view. There wasn't anybody in front of him except back markers. But
and then lap 27, fucking power failure. While he was in first place, had to retire the car. He was out of the race.
Yeah.
Being ahead for almost a fucking minute. By almost a minute. And he had to retire the car. And then there was their little Red Bull controversy where, Checo wants to race with Max. Like, they're the only two up there. They just gotta.
They did have Russell not too far behind, which I understand. I can totally see where Checo's coming from, and I can totally see where Red Bull as a team is coming from. Maybe they're
explain it. Explain it if you're okay. So explain it in both ways. If you're the team, the way you look at it, the way you're seeing the points and everything. If you were sitting in the chair, fucking directing the whole thing, would you have called it the same way?
Yeah.
I mean, so, and the reason
only because Max
Max is up.
Well, it's not so much the points right now. It's just so early in the season, but where they're at, it's not the most reliable car on the track right now. And when you have that kind of situation, and also Max having the better tire delta, he was lapping 2 seconds faster than Checo on those fresher tires. It was going to happen either way that Max would pass him. As a F1 fan, though, 100% you want to see the team let him race. But strategically speaking, it would not have been the right call to make for them to push themselves and maybe blow fuel line or, those kind of things.
Knock that. They already saw Leclerc go down in 27
and
just for power failure.
Yeah.
And he was on his own basically racing nobody.
Yeah, and Horner even said it based on the tire deltas, the oil pressure, the way everything was working, Max was going to win that race regardless. So they said, you know what, let's not risk anything. Let's take maximum points. Let him pass. And I get where Checo's coming from because, yeah, absolutely. If you're in that
competitive nature.
If you're in that seat, 100%, if I'm sitting in that vehicle and I get a team order because I'm in the lead or whatever, and I get a team order, especially when Checo had already given him the lead earlier to attack Russell, you would think that they would have gave it back, but I mean, Max is Red Bull's, pride and joy. You're
He
not
is the
gonna,
golden boy.
you can't just discount that for, But yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. As an F1 fan, I'm disappointed, but you can see where Red Bull's coming from for sure.
if anybody should be disappointed, it'd be Ferrari right now and Leclerc.
Well, Sainz,
Like, how?
Sainz.
I mean,
I mean,
Sainz hasn't
Sainz is a
been,
great
didn't
racer.
really, yeah, but he didn't
he's just
perform.
not
He
there
didn't perform
yet.
in Spain.
He's just not there yet.
That's technically like his home track. That's home for him, and he underperformed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the bottom line of it.
Yeah.
And then for Leclerc, again, he was up on points. If he would have just finished, he would have still been up on points.
Yeah, 100%.
Whether it was 1 or 2 or wherever the fuck, you still would have been up on points.
Yeah.
But, if you're Ferrari, you cannot have a power failure, especially in that point of the race.
Yeah.
When you're that far ahead. You were literally on cruise control throughout the whole fucking race at that point. And for that to happen, what would be the cause for something like that to happen? It's just literally just the unit just fails.
Just temperatures. It's sometimes
pushing it too. Could he be pushing it too hard while that far up?
No, it was a hot day. You see it all the time with power engine failures. Red Bull's case in point. All this season they've had power unit and fuel issues. So shit happens. But they've got a really quick car. They just need to figure out the reliability of it. And once they do that, it's off to the races. We're looking at another Max championship and, Red Bull's first Constructors Championship in 9 years,
That's where it all points to. And when you told me afterward, what was you said you were actually impressed with Hamilton.
Yeah.
On how he performed.
100%. Max, Mercedes came with the upgrades. I can tell you that. They came with the upgrades this week and they were flying. The only issue was they underfueled the cars. On purpose because they wanted a better track position and everything. So, they underfueled the cars to, instead of having full tank, they, put a little bit less. And
why would you do that? More speed, obviously, at the start.
It's less weight to carry during the race, which gives you a higher top end. And every second matters. Mercedes made the call. It worked out for George Russell. It was about to work out for Hamilton until he got the team orders saying you're at risk of DNF if you don't coast through corners, because he was literally running on fumes. So it definitely it would have been a Red Bull 1-2, Mercedes 3-4, but Hamilton had to give that position back to Sainz because he wasn't going to finish at the rate he kept going.
Wait, so what do you mean because the coach in the corners, he was at risk of a DNF? They were going to disqualify him?
No. Running out of gas and beaching on the side of the road. Lifting and coasting, it's like it's just conserving gas instead of, putting put your foot down, right? And then instead of, slamming on the brakes and foot all the way back down again, it's, you're coasting through corners. You're lifting before you get there. You're lifting off the gas and slowing down a little bit, but.
So then now when you see this out of Mercedes, you see that the upgrades are obviously there. As the season progresses.
Well, I told you, as soon as
there's going to be more.
As soon as Mercedes figures it out, it's going to be a scary team. But that's just Mercedes.
Again, yeah.
And now they're talking about increasing the budget cap because of the inflation. Inflation's gone up for them. Like 2.5
Germany.
It's not just a little bit out of a $40 million budget, a budget cap that they installed. A lot of the teams are looking at not even finishing the season. So
Jesus.
Just based off the inflation that's going on right now.
I mean, so now Mercedes has more money. Yeah, they're putting more into this car.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
From the start of the season, they
you
started
gotta
off
kinda
obviously
pick and
pretty
choose.
bad, but
Red Bull's gotten a lot of upgrades really early, and now I mean, it does look sus that they're asking for a budget increase. Because they've spent a lot on this car already, just based on the repairs, based on the travel, based on all of that stuff. They've already spent a lot of their budget.
Interesting.
And on top of that, the inflation doesn't help at all, and a lot of these teams, they pick and choose when they want to have their largest upgrade packages and when they want to, sit back this week. We'll see how it goes.
Huh. So it's kind of like a roll of the dice, week to week, depending on what you're getting.
Just to see where we're at, you would start a season and see where you place and everything. And Red Bull has put a lot into the car to keep up with Ferrari, but now that kind of leaves them short on the budget.
And Ferrari's still.
Well, yeah. Ferrari, going into the season, they had a great car. They had the best car on the field. Hands down, bar none. Red Bull had a better top speed, but an all-around car, Ferrari was that. Ferrari was that car.
And then you add the upgrades and everything that they put on, it just makes it even more.
Yeah. And
ridiculous for them.
they've come with the upgrades as well. I mean, especially this week. And then now there's probably going to be a lot more upgrades coming in from different teams, especially for Monaco, coming this week. So
Monaco race. Ooh, that's one of the bigger races during the year.
Yeah.
That's the one that you said you wanted to go to, or which one is the other one that you wanted to go to? Not Monaco, but where?
Bucket list wise, it would be Monaco. Okay. Just to be in the atmosphere and, Monaco bleeds money, man. Like, that race just, oh my God. Everybody's got a yacht. Everyone's got a bigger yacht. And,
it's just money on top of money on top of money.
It's the pinnacle race of the season because, not that it's such an intense track. It's not the longest track, but definitely the most grinding track that they have.
I apologize.
Baby.
You say mentally challenging track?
Yeah.
That's because it's so narrow, right? It's a street, isn't it?
It's
streets of Monaco.
It is literally the streets of Monaco. And this is Leclerc's home race, so we'll definitely have to see what's going on with that.
He's got to finish at least.
Yeah.
If you're Ferrari, you cannot have your main guy go down at this home.
At this track, Red Bull's top end is basically irrelevant. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter.
There's no straightaways long enough for them to really put that top speed into work, but we'll definitely see what kind of setup they come with, and
Leclerc's definitely going to be looking to not only finish but win and win big. Win huge.
It's his home race.
I mean, that's going to be exciting. And this is Sunday morning at what, 5, 6?
Something early.
Memorial Day weekend, that's fine. Be able to keep that on.
It's 8 a.m. It's not that bad.
Oh, 8 a.m. Oh, yeah, that's not bad at all.
I mean, 6 a.m. for y'all, but.
Oh, that's 8. Oh, that's right. You're 2 hours ahead. 6 a.m. Still not bad. We've had to get up earlier before.
Shit, we had to stay up before.
Yeah,
just for Australia.
Midnight one. Yeah, the Australian.
Shit started at fucking 12 o'clock midnight.
That shit was like, and that was 10 o'clock for me. So yeah, you had to be up earlier or later than that. So That's pretty. But so Monaco, 6 a.m. Pacific. If you're in Texas time, or it would be that Central, 8 o'clock Eastern time. You're looking at 9. So look out for that Monaco Grand Prix. Max Verstappen gets another win for another finish. Hoping to keep his world championship hopes alive, going back to back after winning what a lot of people were considering one of the greatest battles, one of the most controversial, and one of the craziest seasons and battles between two drivers, essentially, to ever hit. And now you're getting basically, it's almost like Max is going through his career, going through different bosses. He beat Lewis Hamilton. Now he's now he's going up against a childhood friend who he's been racing against since he was a kid. So
and
it's one of those.
Ferrari, I mean,
exactly.
I mean, don't discount Ferrari. I mean, Ferrari is still the most winningest team in Formula One history. It's not for no reason.
Yeah, they have always been good, and they are extremely good now. And they have a really good driver in Leclerc, so that for the next and again, they're kids essentially, 23, 24. They're very young. They're going to be in this game for a long time. So for seasons to come, it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting to kind of see. I mean, maybe George Russell takes the mantle of Lewis Hamilton when he's done.
That's what I want. Well, he's kind of already done that this season. I mean, he's placed ahead of Hamilton in almost every race. I mean, the one thing I'm scared of is Mercedes coming out in Monaco and saying, "We're back, motherfuckers." That would be terrifying, because it's early enough in the season to where they can actually make a bid to go for another constructors, and and depending on where Russell's at, because he's in third, he's not that far behind.
Maybe give him kind of a passing of the torch moment for.
Maybe. I'm sure Hamilton would hate that, but
how much longer do you think Hamilton has? He's been in the game for a while. He's been in the game for a long time.
Depending on this season, if he turns it around right now, right at this point in this season, if he turns it around, he's probably going to be around and makes a run at it, and we start to see old Hamilton again. I mean, he's going to be here for a few more years. And
is he going to be here as long as Alonso? Alonso's been there forever, or Alfonso. Sorry.
Oh, you got it right.
It was Alonso.
Yeah.
Fernando Alonso. Okay. He's been in there forever.
Yeah. But I mean, it just depends, man. If this season still keeps going the way it's been going, I don't see him doing. Honestly, I don't see him going after this year. Honestly, I think if this season keeps going the way it's going for him, I think he retires.
Really?
Yeah. Just based off of the way he's feeling, and since last season and all that stuff, that between the media and between him and Mercedes, it's probably not as bad as the media makes it sound, but the guy just looks tired, man. He just looks tired.
I mean, he put a lot into that last.
I mean, he literally
run,
put everything he had, and low-key got robbed, but it's whatever. It's in the past, So
that's just it's wild, man. The whole thing, the whole situation, it makes racing a whole lot more exciting. And can't wait to see how Monaco goes down this weekend. Sunshine, little brother, appreciate you for coming on, man. We will see you next week. I will see you on Sunday. If you guys want to watch along stuff with us here on the West Coast at 6 a.m. If you're willing to get up, probably not, but we'll probably do this thing live on YouTube, watching along with the Monaco Grand Prix this weekend with myself and Sunshine and Country K if he's able to wake up
He ain't getting
at
up.
that point. Probably not.
Yeah, he's not getting up. He's muted right now.
What are you saying? I won't get up. Why you keep saying that?
You ain't getting up at 6 a.m. to watch a race that you ain't watched a single race all season.
See, I was telling Josh, I just watched the what was the shit called? IMSU or some shit like that. Watch one of them fucking races. That shit was dope as hell.
What?
See?
What?
You didn't even know about that. I'm on a different level of racing than you.
Oh, no. Okay. The race that he had seen is not Formula One. It's a different type of.
But what is it?
I'm on a different bracket of racing than you guys.
Yeah, it's a lower bracket, bro.
How do you figure?
Formula One's the pinnacle, homie. What do you mean?
Honestly, bro, that's where everybody wants to be. Kay's like, I'm just making an argument to snark.
If you're a driver, you go your dream. If you're a driver, your dream is not NASCAR. It's not fucking super trucks. It's fucking Formula One.
super trucks. This guy.
No, this shit was like it was cars, but it was Mini broken Beatles. By like their brands, and they had like it was two drivers.
It was off-road.
No, it was on the track. Like it was on the track the entire time, and it was like their cars. Like they're not rally cars or anything, but they're like, Lexus and shit like that. Nissan, I think it was, and
you
fucking Toyota.
When I get the link up, I'll see it in the group
I know
chat.
It was like IMSU or ISMU or some shit like that. I'm not entirely sure, but those are the letters. And I just watched that shit last Sunday or some shit.
Well, Monaco would be a great introduction. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that would actually be a very interesting race for you to actually finally see.
They're able to get racing on streets, like the streets of Monaco, like downtown on the fucking
narrow ass path.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
Oh, ISMA.
Write that down. ISMA.
Yeah, .com. I'm going to the official racing shit.
Race. When I looked at it, I mean, from first glance, they look like little mini doom buggies, just going around the track.
No.
2 people in it, but
no, it's like Grand Prix.
Different type, different.
It's just it's GT racing. That's all it is. But yeah, they've got all the different classes of cars that race against each other. It's a different racing style. But
it's basically see what style is better.
Bullshit. It wasn't
based
that
bad. Based out of the U.S. and Canada. Based out of the U.S. and Canada.
So minor leagues
it's not a world sport like Formula One. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But it's decent.
It'll be entertainment. Entertainment value is there.
Yeah,
we'll give you that.
Yeah,
entertainment value is there. Is it considered the big leagues? No. But entertainment value wise,
like he's watching MLS right now, and we're up here in Premier League. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to my Manchester City boys, since you brought up Premier League.
Champions League, but I mean, same thing essentially.
But all right, I'm heading out. I gotta get my ass to bed.
Go to sleep. Take some time. See you, Sunshine. Appreciate you, brother. See you next week.
See you, dude.
You said rock on? How old are you? Go to bed.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Look at these guys.
Get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, that portion, the Formula One breakdown this week of the Spain Grand Prix. Once again, Max Verstappen getting number 1. Checo Perez at number 2, getting the 1-2 finish for Red Bull. Appreciate Sunshine for kind of breaking everything down for us. Hopefully next week we'll be able to break even more down, especially after this race that's coming up again, Monaco Grand Prix. Be here to watch it with us. And we'll be excited to be able to talk to you guys about it next week. This episode brought to you by Raise Energy, the best energy drink on the entire planet. Demand more. Join the Raise Rebellion. New flavors coming out every single month. This week is the lemonade, basically the Italian shaved ice lemonade. That the one I told you guys about, that Arnold Palmer tasting one. That's out. Next month is going to be coming even more. They're sending even more stuff for us to be able to look at and see what they're projecting to do. Rays even got into the racing game themselves. They got themselves their own car, and I think it's like a subdivision of NASCAR, but it's essentially the same thing, stock car racing stuff. So they just got into that. So go follow Rays and be able to see some racing on that front as well. Use the promo code Alpha Rays at checkout. Use the repsports.com, reppsports.com. Get 15% off your order using the promo code. Once again, demand more. Join the Rays Rebellion. Appreciate Ray for being with us since day numero uno. We also talked earlier. This might be actually something that's very interesting. Dan Snyder, the owner, possible former owner of the Washington newly named Commanders, he might be getting forced out of the NFL, especially with all the pending allegations that are against him right now. Currently, I got right here via Jarrett Bell of USA Today said the NFL owners are counting votes to potentially force Snyder to sell the Commanders. And then Albert Breer came out and said the NFL owners are reluctant to set a precedent for removing one of their own, but they still could be moved to do so pending an ongoing investigation involving Snyder. And at least from what I can tell, it takes 24 of the owners to say yay for you to get the X name. But how we look at this is kind of interesting because there are a lot of people out there who are calling for new non-white ownership, essentially. Black ownership, everything else like that. I believe, wasn't it Jay-Z not too long ago was trying to buy the Carolina Panthers?
They also said that I just read that shit. That fuck, who
AB was talking about getting a team with T.O.
money. He don't have no money. I mean, he got money, but he ain't got enough money.
He don't got that kind of money.
Oh fuck, who was it? I forgot who it was. It was a black guy. Was it Rick Ross? I don't think it was Rick Ross. It was Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was trying to buy the Broncos.
He might have an opportunity to buy the Commanders.
He definitely might have an opportunity to buy the Commanders. He bought the Commanders, fam.
Because if this goes
they
through,
instantly become the favorite fucking free agent spot.
With Magic there?
Bro, they won a fucking pennant with the
where
Dodgers.
Magic goes, magic happens, baby. That's just what happens. People love them some magic.
Yeah, but not only that, Magic understands how to hire people. He hires the right people.
That is also
it might take a little while, but they'll get it together. You saw with the Dodgers. It took a little while. They always was in the dance. They was always in the running, but then the motherfuckers won.
On a shortened year.
Hey, fam, they fucking won, but they was always in the dance though. Like, that matters. If it was just a fluke, like they came out of nowhere, then I'll be with you. But they always was in the playoffs, bro.
And always choking it away. That's just what they do.
Very much
It took them a shortened season for them to pull one out. All right,
Hey,
it's
man.
fine. Whatever. Guess you got to get what you can get sometimes. But with this becomes very interesting because this is not the first time that ownership has faced a dilemma like this. So there was a former owner for the Carolina Panthers when everything started going down when people wanted to buy the Panthers. I think the Panthers are currently NFL owned, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's an owner. They have an owner.
Oh, they have a new owner now.
Yeah, they
So
have
they
an owner
probably
for a
that's
while
probably
now.
why this any NFL owned team sucks. That's just what comes down to it. But I mean, Dan, with all these allegations against him, you know,
At the moment they make him sell the team, he blowing the whistle. He blowing the whistle. That
think
boy gonna
so.
start the snitching.
Think so. Just straight.
Bro, that's why
Tommy,
motherfuckers was scared. This shit.
tell me what you know, huh?
Think about when it very first came out, motherfuckers was scared. Motherfuckers was scared, bro. The next thing you know, that
That
John Gruden
might
shit come out.
be the reluctancy that Albert Breer was talking about when he
Yeah,
said the NFL owners are reluctant. He said, yeah, because they're kind of going like, they're probably
Dan
thinking about it
snitched.
going, fuck, if we do this,
Dan
Dan,
gonna
like you
snitch.
said, Dan snitch. He's going to be telling some shit that should not be told.
Man, everybody gonna be selling.
And
It's
this
gonna be a
was
free
just
fall.
after the Commanders had just bought land for $100 million in a spot in Virginia, which would be 28 miles out of the capital, which is not necessarily out of the norm. I forgot where I saw it, but they had a whole thing of lists of teams that are, geographically, located where they say they're from. The Dallas Cowboys are not located in Dallas. They're the Arlington
Good
Cowboys
thing
at that point.
In Tampa.
In Tampa, but that's a wide, area. That's the full on, thing. But there's, the Jets, and the Giants. They're in fucking New Jersey. They're not even in New York, and they're called the
Y'all
New
in
York Giants.
Santa Clara.
Exactly. The 49ers fucking Santa Clara next to San Jose, 40 miles away from San Francisco.
Trash.
So it's not like it's not, something that can't happen. But I'm just saying, in the midst of all of this, basically, if they decide to get rid of Dan Snyder, whoever gets the team inherits everything that was, purchased by the team and, all of that. So I don't know, man. This is something that's actually pretty interesting because, like you said, best believe people, Dan Snyder's got some info. He's got some info.
He gonna make the whole
Wouldn't
league
it be
look just like
insane
this.
if that was literally the downfall of the NFL?
No, he gonna take the league just like this.
Just done. Kick it right in the chin. Head completely kicked off. Looking like an NFT. Just I don't know, man. This is something that's, tell me he doesn't know Jerry Jones personally and everything, hella close and all that, because especially considering they're in the same division. Ooh, Jerry might again, they need 24 votes. Jerry does not need to be one of them. Neither does Kraft. He can go back and say, hey, you don't say nothing about me because I voted to keep you here.
All of Green Bay look like this right now.
They're owned by the community. They're owned by the city.
Exactly why I said that.
Wild. Absolutely wild. Green Bay Packers about to be on top again.
Top of what? Whatever
On
you
top of
think of.
everything, especially if everyone goes down, you really think he's just going to name a few? Because that few is going to turn into many. Dan's not the only one who's going to be snitching. Anybody that he snitches on and gets investigated. Just watching everybody get beat the fuck down.
Watching and recording. See, it's a phone right there. We're watching and recording. So we're gonna watch the memories.
Oh man, that Miami Dolphins the Saints, huh? Oh, that's right. Miami did put a whooping on the Saints at one point. I mean, either way, bro, that this is going to be something that we'll definitely keep tabs on the social medias, on Twitter and everything at the JAFFO's AP. So, what do you think happens? Do they do it? Do they remove him?
Get him out of here.
Done. Give him the boot. Just accept the consequences when they come, huh?
Yeah. Think about it. The NBA had to remove an owner, the Clippers owner.
I think the NBA situation is a little different.
I mean, not necessarily
than the NFL.
Not necessarily. It was a
considering
owner.
I think the NBA, especially the commissioner of the NBA, was very pro player.
I mean, when you get down to the fine details, then yeah, it's different. But the overall example that I'm saying is the owner stepped out of line. No matter how he stepped out of line, he had to get out of there. He had to be voted out of there. And the league did not slow down. It did not stop. Somebody bought the team. Somebody with enough money came and bought the team. And they kept going.
Kept the pushing.
The NFL can do the exact same thing. They're making it seem like they have to have this man. They don't. He was reluctant.
And especially if all he's doing is just bringing problems. I mean, the last 5 to 10 years has not been friendly to the Washington franchise with this owner there.
First off,
it might be. You're right. It might be a better. Like, this might actually clean up our look a little bit, keep people off of our ass if we get rid of this guy. This might be beneficial to us. Like, this, just give him the boot. You just need to do whatever it is you want. Or maybe Dan wasn't even really in the loop. He's one of those owners that the other owners just kind of like, you go over there. You go sit at the kids' table. Grown folks are talking about it. Maybe he was out here, so maybe Dan Snyder really doesn't have any information. And if he doesn't, shit. All the more reason, just Pat McAfee style. Punt that shit out the stadium. Goodbye. Let's start a new chapter.
He got info. He got dirty diapers. He got skeletons.
Chances are he does. Chances are, yes, he does. That you're absolutely correct.
So think about it. He does not want to sell his team. They're voting to make him sell his team. He's gonna be disgruntled as fuck. Like, he's gonna be disgruntled as fuck. And he's gonna start.
I mean, what if he keeps it in the family though? He just sells it to his kid or something.
I mean,
it's just
I
him
guess
that's the law.
It definitely have to be stipulations on that shit because that's what the NBA did.
That happened to DeBartolo back in the day when he was the owner of the 49ers. He got busted on his gambling shit and he had to sell the team. He sold it to York. He fucking forgot what he was, but kept it in the family.
I mean,
don't they Jed essentially inherit? Huh? Yeah, that's still in the family. Jed is still he owns the team. He's still part of the family. Like I said, they kept it in the family, and Eddie D is always there. He is well respected, amongst the 49er fans kind of like, I mean, you gambled, bro, but hey, you brought us 5 championships. Like, we can't really you didn't gamble on us. It wasn't, our games or something that you got caught up with and all that stuff. So at least that's how I look at it. I go, hey, Eddie D, you're cool with me. That's all I'm saying. Yep. Look at it any which way you want. Your Heat are still losing 100 to 79. Before we get into the next topic, ladies and gentlemen, Gunner Sports, Leslie Jackson, the host of the Bay Area Cali Classic, the fastest rising all-star game in all of California, Gunner Sports Academy, where they're training you with the best coaches throughout the Bay and throughout the Valley. And eventually, like we said, because everything is growing so fast, it's going to turn into something really big, and you're going to want to be part of it. Go to Gunner Sports, get a hold of Leslie Jackson. Coaches, you want your kid to be showcased in the All-Star game, get a hold of Leslie Jackson and Gunner Sports. Parents, you want your kid to get better, put them in the Gunner Sports Academy. Get a hold of Leslie Jackson. Get a hold of Gunner Sports. This is the group that you want to be with, and we appreciate them for allowing us to be partnered with them to be able to witness and cover the growth as it comes. And we're really excited to be able to see the game again next year from a better vantage point and everything. Hopefully by then we'll be more prepared to bring you guys a better look on the game. The YouTube video that Kay put together was great. I'm talking about the live version of the whole thing. We definitely want a better view and a better, experience for you guys to be able to see the whole thing as well. But again, Gunner Sports, Leslie Jackson, get a hold of them. Appreciate them for everything. And yeah. Next topic. Former Broncos wide receiver Brandon Langley just obliterated United Airlines employee today. This is the world we live in, okay? This is the world we live in now. It starts off as a slap fight, and then somebody in TSA gets put down. This is the world we live in now. You saw the video.
Yeah, I definitely saw the video.
Did you laugh at all?
Yeah, I laughed. I definitely laughed. I laughed when I shouldn't have. But I'm gonna tell you right now, my man went from let's stop box. And then he ended up like this for a second. And then he went here. And
the video, first of all, the video
but then he popped up. He rose from the dead.
He pulled Tyson Fury and got up. He got up before the count.
That shit was not okay.
Okay, people, if you haven't seen the video, I mean, look, we don't condone violence or anything at all. It should not have escalated to where it did. But you gotta admit, human reaction. If you get slapped, there's going to be one of two reactions. You're either going to back down and walk away because you just got slapped, or fight or flight. You're about to do something to this person. And so again, the video just starts off strong. Just the United Airlines employee, open hand, like as if he was part of that competition, the open hand slap competition, just came out and gave Mr. Langley a nice fat, smack right across the face. Langley just went pap for a quick second. Then Langley came back, slapped the dog shit out of him. And then it escalated because at first, the guard I don't even think it was a guard. I think it was just somebody who helped you, who charges you to check your bags. He he dodges the first punch pretty well. Langley throws a punch, full extension or everything, dodges it pretty well, dodges the second one. He does not dodge the third. He doesn't dodge the third. He eats the third pretty hard, and he trips over. At first, you kind of think he's stunned, but he actually trips over luggage that was right there behind him. He keeps pushing forward. Langley just puts him again, gives him another 2-piece. So much so, dude falls back behind the guardrail, we'll just say, falls over a mound of luggage and just slams his head on the ground. And I mean, he gets up and he's leaking. He's like I said, he's got a big old cut, or at least you can see that there's blood right down here down his eye. And he's coming in dazed. He's still walking up like he wants to fight. And Langley's like, bro, I'm about to kill you. You bet you. And he's telling everybody else, hell no. And we don't know what started the whole thing, because the video starts off with the two slapping each other. That's literally how the video starts. The first 1, 2, pop, pop. Okay, it's on. This is where the fight starts. It's a 2-minute video, and the first 2 seconds, there's already 2 slaps thrown. Okay, so, and was it you or Mad Six who put it to us that Langley got arrested afterwards? Mad Six said that he got arrested.
Yeah,
I didn't see anywhere that Langley had gotten arrested. If he did, again, the video could have started well after the initial argument. Langley could have been completely in the wrong for that whole thing, and then ended up saying something. And then United Airlines guy took a couple Taekwondo classes the last few weekends. Thought he felt pretty good. Maybe he could defend himself real quick, and didn't realize he was, fighting an athlete in his own right. And just, I mean, credit to him. He kept coming. He kept coming.
the man probably giving them
and
3%.
Langley was telling the coworkers, like, you're not gonna come get your man. And the coworkers were like, it's almost like the coworkers like, nah, this is a long time coming. This dude's been talking a lot of shit before, anyways. It's about time somebody whooped his ass.
Well, then that right there can kind of shows you that Langley had nothing to do with that.
If that was the case, allegedly, all allegedly. I'm not saying that was the case. I'm just saying the coworkers didn't try to stop shit. They didn't try to stop a damn thing. It took
I'm gonna tell you right now, that dude in the uniform, life came at him fast as this shit.
just
That was life. Baby D's life, and he, that.
if you don't know Baby D, you don't know Baby D.
For the people that's in audio, I'm referencing Next Friday. If you haven't seen Next Friday is a movie that's written by DJ Pooh and Ice Cube. Ice Cube is an American rapper, and DJ Pooh is an American DJ.
Okay.
Yeah, you got people from out of the country, bro.
Look, I understand there's people out of country, but there's no way. And NWA and Ice Cube and all that stuff, those are worldwide figures. Chances are people know Next Friday, Friday After Next, and the original Friday, and everything else like that. Chances are they know. So I would hope to God you wouldn't have to literally go down
Bro,
to who directed and produced the shit.
Cult classics. I've met football players that haven't seen Friday Night Lights.
They're not real football players.
Bro, I've seen them play football, and they are. They are. They just never seen it.
Not until they've seen that movie. They need to learn a lesson to watch Friday Night Lights.
Bro, see what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen the program until I got to college.
If you haven't seen Friday Night Lights, it's because you're afraid of losing. You're afraid to bruise your own ego. That's why. That's what I think. because it teaches you even though you lose, you get back up and your team comes back and fucking wins the shit the next year. Just saying, Friday Night Lights is shit. If you haven't seen it, you're wrong. You need to go see it. I mean, again, Langley, however that whole thing went down, I'm just saying, kudos to the guy for he kept coming. But I mean, from the video, the employee threw the first slap, and if that's where it started, the employee was definitely the one wrong, and you know, it is what it is. Shame on the coworkers for not trying to break that shit up. So just watching this man get his ass beat, and as they're coming towards you, just stepping out of the way. When you watch this man fall and slam his head on the ground, did nothing to help pick him up. Like, again, that was one of those that kind of seemed like maybe the employees or everybody else around who saw the whole thing felt no sympathy for this guy because nobody made an attempt to help at all. At
Nobody
all.
made an attempt to stop that shit or nothing.
Nope. Nothing.
Not even hold Langley back. Like, all right, bro.
It took Old Head to come in and, all right, son, you got like fucking Pops. All right, so you again, you win some, you lose some, just walk away. You live to fight another day. You live to fight another day. Right now, it's not the time.
I'm not putting the late great John Witherspoon up for that motherfucker. I'm putting Jimmy Johnson.
No. Oh shit, Mad Six, breaking news. Mad Six just told us he got invited by Uriah Faber to go train with him. Yeah, as if the best DJ in the world wasn't a fucking killer already. Let's let him train with Uriah Faber. Sure. Jesus Christ. Hey, congrats, Mad Six. Congrats, bro. Go train, get better. Let's get that man on the show. If he invited,
try to go to a couple of those sessions to get some footage.
Oh, for sure. I gotta ask him. Hey, where's that? I'll fucking videotape it and then put it on the socials and all that other kind of stuff. So this is why you do not fuck with our DJ. Look at this. Look at this guy. Fucking black belt. Oh man. And then we got to get Uriah Faber on the show. That's the next goal. After that, we got to get him on the show to talk about that because that dude. You talk about a California MMA legend. That's the guy right there. Yep, that is who that is to the people of California watching, who watch MMA. Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be definitely crazy. But hey, congrats to Mad Six. This episode brought to you by Groundbreaking Enterprises, a premier real estate company ready to buy your house as is. Have you considered selling? Call 510-646-7891 and get your no obligation offer now. That's 510-646-7891 and sell your home with Groundbreaking Enterprises. Tell them the JAFFO sent you. Appreciate Kenny and Seabass out there helping us get better. And we help get their name out there because they bust their ass for their job and for what they do. So definitely give those guys a call. They're the best ones for the job. Going to the next one, the Lakers are actually holding out hope for Doc Rivers to get fired by the 76ers, even though the owner of the 76ers has come out and said Doc is going nowhere. I mean, for the Lakers, it's just not looking good for them right now. The three finalists outside of Doc Rivers is Terry, I think it's Terry Stotts or Stotts. Correct me, whichever one it is. I think it's Stotts. Stotts. Okay. So it's Terry Stotts. He's the former Blazers head coach. Darvin Ham, he's the assistant head coach with the Bucks. And then Kenny Atkinson, the assistant for the Golden State Warriors. I mean, Doc is still Los Angeles' number one priority, but it'd be interesting to see, like, if the Lakers are
no.
literally going to go, they're going to literally have to go last second to see if Doc gets fired at all. And then I can definitely see it happening that if the 76ers aren't performing well halfway through next season, they fire Doc mid-season, and the Lakers will fire whoever it is of these three that I just mentioned and pick up Doc Rivers. And my question to you, since you and I both know how much Doc likes to choke in the playoffs, Lakers are not all that great as they sit right now. Why is Doc a priority for the Lakers? What is so enticing about Doc Rivers at this point with your Los Angeles? Is it just for namesake? Just another name to get there
I guess
as a draw, or what?
No, I think it's the type of coach Doc is. I feel like they think he's going to maximize certain players' abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like fill in the gap. So the messages that LeBron is trying to translate to players. Excuse me. Honestly, I feel like Mark Jackson probably would have been the best coach for them. But I mean, it is what it is. So
I mean, I think for them, again, Darvin Ham is interesting because the Bucks. They just won a title last year, and he's helped develop, Giannis and Holiday and all of fucking. I'm blanking on his name right now. Who's his third guy? Giannis, Holiday, Middleton, or Chris Middleton. Yeah, so he's helped develop championship style teams. So I think if anybody, that's who the person they should go for. I've been hearing people talking about Kenny Atkinson. The Warriors head coach, obviously, people want that Steve Kerr, Warriors tree, like almost like an equivalent to a Bill Parcells coaching tree or Bill Walsh.
He was Dame's head coach for so long.
Yeah, that he's
Terry Stotts was Dame's head coach. That's kind of what.
Again, they want Doc, but I'm just kind of looking at it going like, is Doc really I'm not denying that he's a good coach. He's one of the all-time greats in coaching. That's what I'm saying. He's not the answer for this team.
Yeah.
He might be the answer for another team. That team, I can't give you who that would be.
No, let him stay in Philly, bro.
I mean, develop a culture, develop what you got there. Get rid of James Harden, and go another way. Just
let them have a full season together. Let them gel. Let them do shit.
Okay, you tell me right now. An unmotivated James Harden, do you want that on your team?
I'll be honest, he wouldn't survive in Miami. He not Miami ilk. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
he's not built from that cloth. He's not that kind of guy.
No, I mean he's an amazing player. He's an all-world talent. His talent, I would love to have his talent on my team, but James Harden as a whole package, fuck no, you on some dumb shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, and then like I say, he hasn't figured out how to win. He be choking in the playoffs big time. So we'll need that shit. Definitely need that.
So, like I said, people have to already kind of live and deal with the fact that one, James Harden is not the same James Harden, Houston Rockets MVP James Harden. He's not that guy. He's nowhere near that guy. So you need that, and the max contract that he comes with, if I'm Philly, that delays the quote unquote progress. You trade James Harden for another, for an early pick, and another player or whatever, build more around like Maxey and Joel Embiid, obviously Joel Embiid, he's your lifer. But you need to get something down there that, and again, at least for the Lakers, I don't know if Doc Rivers is the answer to all of that. I don't know what Doc Rivers necessarily brings to, the Lakers other than possibly kissing LeBron's ass the entire time. It's like literally. Why didn't LeBron just come out and do what Bill Russell did? Just be a player coach. Fuck it. You already do it. Like, why not just say fuck it and do it?
Every team needs a vocal leader on the floor. You need that captain on the floor. So if it's LeBron, most likely it's LeBron. And that's kind of what it is. I wouldn't necessarily say he needs to be a player's coach. I mean,
he's like, basically the GM. Kyrie went off and said that shit too.
Kyrie also said the world was flat.
That is also true.
So, I mean,
take what Kyrie Irving says with a grain of salt.
Exactly. Like, you got Rob Pelinka there.
A grain of flat earth salt.
Like, come on, bro. Why would they hire Rob Pelinka? Rob Pelinka's doing his job or whatever. LeBron going there and suggest players. He going there and ask for players. I'm not gonna say
but
like he ain't doing that.
I feel like, and this is something that I hear from national media, from local media. It feels like LeBron has developed a reputation of where if things don't go his way and it doesn't work out the way he envisioned it, he's going to leave and go somewhere else who can accommodate him or wherever he wants to go.
That's not fair.
Whether it's fair or not, that's what they're saying.
I mean, people say what they want to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the media try to make up a story, but that's not a fair assessment. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're making a story up because they're saying that based off of him leaving and going to multiple teams. It's like, bro, like, look at what he did. He was in Cleveland for 8 years, like 8, 9 years, 7, 8, 9 years, something like that. He was at Cleveland for a while. Then he went to Miami for 4 years to play with his friend. You know what I'm saying? To play with his friend. They basically got drafted together. Really, D Wade kind of constructed that shit. Everybody give that shit to LeBron, but D Wade really constructed that shit.
Well, everyone got on LeBron's head because of the decision. That's why.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like he was the number one player in the world. That might have not have been LeBron's call all the way. Like, they probably asked him about it, and he's like, yeah, let's do that. Like, that sounds like something dope. Like, we could do it like this, do it in my old school. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he just took over after they probably gave him the idea. Like,
he also fucked up by saying 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 champions.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm like, the football gods or not the football, the basketball gods are looking down on you going, oh, you think you, oh, okay. Let's fucking humble you for a quick second. Send in Duncan.
Dirk Nowitzki beat him first.
So send in Dirk.
They won.
So send in Dirk and then send in
lost first.
So send in Dirk. Oh, you still haven't learned? All right. We'll send in 10.
I mean, they won back to back.
After he humbled himself after that, it took those two ass whoopings for him to realize, all right, this isn't going to be as easy as we said it was. This man literally went on national TV and apologized to the fans that they weren't going to go.
That's how they lost. That's how they won and lost. It was they lost to Dirk first, then they won back to back, then they lost to the Spurs, then LeBron left. Like, that was the chronological order.
Either way.
So I mean, he had to learn how to win.
He has more losses in the finals than he does wins.
I mean, he also has more appearances than most of the people that played in the NBA.
Other than Bill.
That's what I'm saying. He's been to the finals more times than people has been in the NBA. But it's like I
I have a
give him
quick
no
question
credit
for you.
for doing that, but at the same time, it's like people don't understand. Most of the times he was going there, he was carrying a lot of shit teams. We were saying that earlier in the show.
Can I ask you something?
What's that?
So I'm seeing like Mad Dog Russo and all these other people coming up on TV and trying to make a case for players who played on the same team as Bill Russell did on the Celtics, like Bob Cousy and all those other guys and everything else like that. He's Russo, who you call evil Skip Bayless. I know this was a little while ago, but he came with he keeps saying that Bob Cousy changed the game. He had 29 was it like the 28 of the 29 assists in the game? And I was like, who did those assists go to? Number 11. Okay. Yeah. Chances are your assist totals are going to be pretty fucking high when you're giving it to Bill Russell. So I'm just kind of like, this whole idea. One, Steph Curry's not getting enough love that he should as a point guard. I'll get into that a little bit later. But it's kind of like when we're talking about greatest players of all time, you got to look at circumstances, who they played with. Anybody who played on Bill Russell's Boston Celtics team during that era when he went and got 11 NBA championships, whoever was on that team was riding the coattails of Mr. Bill Russell. Okay. All those stats were padded by the fact that you had 11 on your team. That's just the fact of it all. You argue it all the fuck you want to. The fact of the matter is, Bill Russell carried that goddamn team. Bill Russell was the reason why they won. He made everybody around him and everything like that better. And during a time where the pigment of his skin actually meant something to people, like shitting on all of these, like JJ Redick said, plumbers and Cousy went and defended. He started naming off players. He named off like 10, 15 players. I was like, 10, 15 players in the entire NBA. And those 10, 15 players played on the same fucking teams. The same 2-3 teams in that era. It's not like there were 30 teams like there is now. That wasn't the case back then. The top 15 players played for 3 teams. And everyone else, guess what? Plumbers and fire. So I'm just kind of looking at it going, I don't really call those guys necessarily all-time greats because of that fact. But I guess you can make an argument for them. But I'm just saying it's kind of a shitty argument to have when you're comparing those guys compared to somebody like Steph. Like, people don't even have Steph in the top 10 all time. That doesn't make sense. Can you make that? Do you agree with that? Do you think Steph is an all-time top 10 player? He's already dubbed the greatest shooter of all time. That's not a question. But where do you rank him in the top 10, if at all?
Yeah,
who are we comparing him to in the top 10? Let me before we get into this, because I want to put this down. Mountain Mike's, what started as a single pizza restaurant with a casual, family-friendly atmosphere, has since grown into a leading pizza brand. From the very beginning, we aim to provide the honest quality pizza using only the freshest and finest ingredients. Available Mountain Mike's Pizza the way it ought to be. Shout out to Dave and everybody at the crew over there at the Sunrise Boulevard location. That's where we will be having our NFL or any type of watch along that we decide to have people come in and have a good time and watch together. That is going to be the place that we go to. or at least the number one choice of everything. But again, shout out to Dave and everybody. Shout out to Mountain Mike's for partnering up with us. The Warriors are about to prove me correct. What started off as just one of those fuck it, let's see what happens moments is almost turning into a reality. And I say that because, was it last? No, not last episode. Was it last Wednesday?
Might have been.
Or was it Monday? I know Mad Six was on the show.
It was Wednesday then.
Okay. So Wednesday show, I came on, and also we're going to get into ESPN again because I'm fucking infuriated. I was talking of Luka and all this other kind of stuff, but then I just said, fuck it, the Warriors are going to sleep them. You know, I was thinking the grind that Dallas had to go up against, the Suns, even though they blew them out in Game 7, was still, if you look at the overall team, and again, it's literally just 3 players who are putting up the points and getting into double figures and everything else like that consistently, literally throughout the playoffs for the Dallas Mavericks, and that's Luka, Dinwiddie, and Brunson. That's it. Anybody outside of that isn't doing a goddamn thing. Warriors have more than just 3 people who can put up points and defend and can, pass, do all that other kind of stuff. So that is turning out to be coming to fruition. I mean, at least for now. Warriors yesterday up and won 109 to 100 to go up 3-0 in the series. Wiggins posterized Luka. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They initially called it an offensive charge. And when I saw it initially, I'm like, there's no fucking way that was an offensive charge. He literally just obliterated Luka's soul, and this is just a pity foul. That is fucked up. No way, shape, and hell. They challenged it. And I'm like, they're about to win this challenge. Boom. Won the challenge. Because if you look at the replay, Wiggins did not touch Luka's face. What touched Luka's face, and I got to credit Max Kellerman on this one because he said it earlier this morning. It made me laugh. I was like, what he felt was the wind from the power of him getting dunked on, as embarrassingly as he did.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like that was the shame of knowing that your fucking play about to be on top 10 for 773 weeks. Just understand that shit.
Luka getting
that shit
shit on by Andrew.
It's gonna be in the Hall of Fame next to the butt fumble.
Just the picture of Luka holding his face as he's going down while Wiggins just has a powerful, blowing that shit through the bottom of the fucking net.
He destroyed that boy.
It's bad. It's bad, man. I saw that and I'm like, well, the Mavs are done. I'm like, if that doesn't take the soul out of them, then they're more resilient than I thought they would. They would be. I mean, Wiggins put up 27 points, 11 rebounds. Curry put up 31, 5 3-pointers, 11 assists, 5 rebounds. Luka had 40 and 11. Dinwiddie had 26, and not much else after that. Brunson had 20 points and 5 rebounds. Clay had 19. I forgot who else had like 10. There was like 1 or 2 other people with double digits and everything else like that. I was just looking at it going, if you look at it overall as a team, the Warriors are a more complete team than the Mavs. And I don't even think it's close. Like, I think I don't know, man. I think if Jordan Poole was just out there by himself, like probably be working the same.
All right, can we be all the way honest about this shit? Besides this last game, the Mavs have been in the game in both of those games. The first two
In the
games they've
second
been in
one,
the game.
that's the one that I was like, okay. So every single team is trading blowout losses. The Heat got blown out. The Celtics got blown out. The fucking Mavs got blown out. It's time for the Warriors to get blown out. Then Curry said, "No, that's not going to happen to us." 31-9 was the third quarter for that game. I was like, "Holy shit!" Steph is playing on another level right now as well. And the and that brings me up to that top 10 question that I asked you. Because it seems to me that the only thing that is keeping him out of that conversation is, I mean, not even really just one more championship, but a finals MVP. So I was like,
I don't think you got nothing to do with accolades, bro.
I mean, at least from what I've been hearing, I mean, that's what seems to be the overall viewpoint. If he has a finals MVP, then you can put him in the top 10.
I guess.
That seems to be their argument. Do you put him in the top 10 all time? Considering who has played in this league, would you put Steph Curry top 10 all time?
I'll say from my lifetime looking at basketball, yeah. From my lifetime looking at basketball, the basketball before my lifetime, then I don't know too much about other than highlights. You know what I'm saying? Like highlights and different shit like that. So I really can't speculate on them niggas. But based on my lifetime, then yeah, he would be in the top 10.
I think for me, being as much of like a historian as I say that I am, I think absolutely he's top 10. He might be on the fringe of that top 10, but he is top 10. Because again, you're looking at the greatest shooter of all time. You're looking at the guy who essentially revolutionized the game to what you see now. Because now people coming up, they're looking for that long range three. They're looking for that, highlight half court shot, all that other kind of shit. Trae Young come up doing that. Luka goes up from distance threes from here on out, from time to time. It's just kind of like, if you don't think Steph has revolutionized the game, you kind of have to watch. LeBron, obviously, he revolutionized the game in his own way. And then the fact that what we have is in the NBA, there are two players who have revolutionized the game enough to where you see what you see on the court. And that two players is LeBron James and Steph Curry. LeBron James, because he has made it abundantly clear that it does not matter how big you are, you can still be an elite passer, get the rebounds and everything else like that, being an all-around player as a big man. That's why you see guys like Embiid and you see guys like Jokic and Giannis and everything. They're more all-around players because LeBron, for the longest time, has been the best all-around player in the game. And then Steph, all the guards want to shoot like him. They look for the like in some ways they look for a mixture of the passing ability of Chris Paul, and the shooting ability of Steph Curry. That's just what it's come down to. If you look at the two players that have revolutionized the game the most in the last 20 years, it's those two. Almost 25 years. So, and in total, because Steph came after LeBron. So you're just looking at the way the NBA is because of these two guys. How can you not put him in the top 10 of the all-time list? He doesn't have to be number 1 or 2 or 3. He doesn't even have to be in the top 5. But the top 10, he's got to be in that conversation. Even if he's just 10, he's got to be in that conversation. That's how I look at it. From your vantage point, I mean, am I at least in the ballpark of when it talks about
you're pretty.
when I'm talking about
Yeah.
like people who revolutionized the game?
Yeah, no, Steph for sure revolutionized the game. And now that you've been talking, I had to sit back and really think about it. And I was like, yeah, Steph completely changed the game. He definitely a top 10 player. And based off of impact, he's for sure a top 5 player. Like he changed, like the NBA was shooting more threes and shit. You know what I mean?
Than ever before.
Kobe's era, but Steph like made the 3-point line the most important factor of the fucking game. Like he pretty much phased out traditional big men. Steph and
no, essentially
because
he
they had
did.
Andrew Bogut in the beginning. They had Andrew Bogut in the beginning, and then they
the
stopped
big
using
men
him.
had to evolve. You had to have big men who could shoot, who could pass, who can get
they
it
just,
to.
Big men evolved because the Warriors phased them out because they didn't need Andrew Bogut to win. You know what I'm saying? They phased them out, and they pretty much switched them out. And that's when they had Zaza Pachulia, and they just had a big man that can just. He's a 4 for real, but they used him at a 5 because he could shoot, and he kind of tough, so he could play. He can get boards and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when the league started evolving. The Warriors pretty much evolved the league. That was based off of Steph shooting so much. So his shots started going up higher, and people were starting to make a more 3 balanced team, so they can just pass around instead of we only have to guard Steph. You know what I'm saying?
Essentially, because if you can't keep up with if Curry and Clay get hot, which I will argue to death that Steph and Clay are the greatest shooting duo of all time. And it's not even close. It's not even close.
I agree with that.
The numbers they put up together and everything else, it's not close. I will argue till I'm out of fucking breath.
I'll be right beside you. I'll be right beside you on that one. You know how much I hate the Warriors. I'll be right beside you.
Exactly. It's kind of one of those you got to take your hatred out of your hate for the team, and kind of look at the individual accolades and look at the individual what they've done, because essentially Clay, Steph, argue about it if you want, and Draymond turned what was once a scrub ass shit team. They were so bad, the Sacramento Kings were better than them. They were so bad that Chris Webber said, fuck it, I would rather play in Sacramento. That is how bad the Warriors were at one point. And then Steph, Clay, and Draymond came in. They changed the culture. They got that first title. KD came in and kind of solidified the other two.
I can't let you be disrespectful to the We Believe team, bro.
No, look, the We Believe team, what that did was that sparked interest in free agency coming to Golden State. These people wanted to play with Barron. People wanted to play with Steven Jackson. They were an exciting team. And then they took out the Mavericks in the first round as the number 8 seed, which nobody thought was going to happen. That's actually the team that got me interested in the Warriors. In 2007, I have that Steven Jackson jersey still. Yeah, so I like that team. I was kind of like, oh, okay, this team might be interesting to follow from here on out to see where they go. because if this is any sort of foundation or catalyst for what's to come for this team, this might be something that in the next 15, 20 years might be interesting. And they did. That's exactly what they turned out into. I'm still a Spurs fan. That's just what I grew up with. I grew up during the Duncan and Robinson eras and everything else like that. Elliott, Manu, Parker, all that shit. All 5 of those champions, I lived through that whole thing. Even the fact that they kind of, they stink right now, but hopefully that'll turn around. I think Popovich is kind of on his way out for retiring pretty soon. I'm still a Spurs fan, but Warriors fan, that 07 team was the team that got me interested in Golden State. Because again, they were shit. You remember? Golden State was bad for a long time.
Yeah, the boys had
For
cheap
a
tickets.
very, very long time. That shit got embarrassing for a while.
I love them tickets being that cheap.
$10 for courtside type shit. They were bad. They might have paid people to show up. Be honest with you.
Bro, I bought my tickets at Walmart for discount.
You see how far they've come. But it's those 3 guys who it was really those 3 guys and the coaching change to Steve Kerr. Mark Jackson kind of built the foundation for that team. Kerr's coaching and his strategic mind of everything like that just took it to the next level.
He got Tony Dungy.
Essentially. Yeah. Essentially, that's what happened. But again, it's when you really look at it, Steph Curry, if you don't think he's a top 10, whatever fucking analyst that you think he's not a true point guard because he shoots too much, fuck you. He's a point guard, and there are plenty of point guards like him that you still label a point guard. It's everybody passes, everybody. He is just deadly as shit. And you've never seen a point guard be that deadly of a shooter. He amazes you so much in his ability to drain the 3 that you refuse to believe he's a fucking alien. He's not a point guard. He's a fucking alien. We don't know what Steph is. We don't know what Curry is. He's a fucking point guard. He's just the greatest shooting point guard to ever play the game. Ever. Out of all of them. He may not be the best passer. If you want to get really technical and break shit down, when it talks about passing, is he elite? John Stockton, Chris Paul, up there type of shit? Probably not. But he shoots definitely he's way better shooter than all of them.
He's the best shooter. He got that.
But I feel like it's just because he's undersized and he doesn't do the traditional passing to the big men that everyone's kind of oh, he's not a true point guard. There's no such thing as a true position anymore. There isn't. In the league, there's no such thing because everybody can play every spot. All the big men and stuff like that now, they can play all 5 positions technically if they wanted to. Jokic could play all 5 positions. He could take it down the floor, get the rebound, bang underneath, do all that shit. He can shoot from 3. You got big men who could do what guards can do. And you got guards who are oversized now. As an example, you got guys as big as Ben Simmons who are 6'9", 6'10" as point guards. Magic Johnson kind of started that shit. When he came in, what was it, 6'8", 6'9" as a point guard when he came in?
He was 6'8", 6'9", yeah.
Which at that point they considered a power forward. Or do you believe that shit? 6'8", 6'9" was considered a power forward. That's like a small
Yeah.
forward now.
I mean, it was, yeah.
But I mean, even then, like there shouldn't be, at least. Like everything, calling you a point guard, a shooting guard, a small forward, power forward, center, but that's a formality. Like all that's just a formality. Everybody's got to be able to do everything. You got to be able to shoot. You got to be able to defend. You got to be able to rebound. You got to be able to pass. Those 4 aspects of the game you need to know, and you need to know very well. And oh, by the way, here's number 5. You need to be at a genius IQ level when it comes to basketball. You need to know what you're fucking doing. You need to be smart, and you need to have those 4 aspects of the game physically. And I mean, again, we talked about Steph, like he revolutionized the game. His IQ is off the chart. LeBron's IQ, his IQ is off the charts. There are very few players that come into the NBA that when you hear them talk about the game, you just, okay, he sees this on another level than anybody else. Nobody else would be able to point that out, see that, especially in the moment, in that quick of time. Nobody would be able to see that. Nobody would be able to remember that. You know, they played the game for so long, shit just kind of jumbles together at times. You know, but like again, it is absolutely asinine to me to say that Steph Curry is not a top 10 guy. And like you said, I mean, when we're talking about people who revolutionized the game, you know, to evolve to where it is now, I would give it, and this is solely on the aspect of being a revolutionary of the game. It would be obviously Bill Russell. And this is no particular order. This is not like, oh, this one's better than this. This is no particular order. We're just talking about people who revolutionized the game. Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Steph Curry.
You completely forgot about the most dominant big man ever.
I'm just getting to Shaq. Again, this is no particular order. Like I'm thinking big men and everything at this point too, because you're talking to big men, and Shaq is one of those that just destroy people. Again, the most dominant player really to ever play the game. If Shaq were to be in his prime in this era, it wouldn't be close. Shaq would be the MVP every year. Shaq would be the MVP every year.
It just depends on which Shaq we get. If you get Orlando Shaq, then I agree.
I mean, Lakers Kobe era Shaq, that's not good enough to be able to be an MVP. I mean, he won an MVP.
Yeah, but Kobe Bryant said himself that Shaq was lazy.
Oh, I mean, Shaq said that shit later on. He agreed.
So
one of those mistakes that Shaq says to this day, if he would have actually had the work ethic and played like him and Kobe would have, they would have gone down and just. And then, remember when James Harden got to Philadelphia, when people were starting to compare James Harden and Joel Embiid to Shaq and Kobe?
Yeah, that shit was asinine.
I'm sorry, when I saw that, I was like, this is the most disrespectful shit I've ever seen. Ever in my lifetime. The mentalities and the game is totally different between the pairs. One, James Harden is not on Kobe Bryant's level. Not even close. Never will be. Not even a discussion. Joel Embiid and Shaq, I feel like that would be a hell of a one-on-one to watch. But still, I think Shaq takes that.
What rules are they playing? That's the first. Say it again.
I mean, does it matter if they're playing Shaq's era or if they're playing this era?
That matters.
Does it matter?
Shaq's game depicts on that. Like that's straight up. Like Shaq's game depicts on the rules that he used and the type of Shaq you because Shaq was doing a lot of shit that would be deemed offensive fouls nowadays.
So you think Shaq? So what you're telling me is Shaq in his prime would not be able to. His game would not be able to adjust to today's game.
That's why I said Orlando Shaq. Orlando Shaq could have, because Orlando Shaq was still small. He was still small and lean. He would have been able to adjust a lot better than LA Shaq. LA Shaq was big. Like he was a
diesel.
Bigger guy. Like, he was always big, but he was like big at that time. He like overweight type big. You know what I mean?
I did not. For me, I mean, for you, you're 6'10". You probably have a better idea of what would be considered, overweight or whatever. From my visual, him being, what was it, 7'3", 7'4"?
7'2".
7'2". Okay. He's 7'2".
Mm-hmm.
A little over 300 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked like he was built like a fucking Mack truck.
I mean,
that was overweight.
He was more than a little over 300 pounds. That's first off. And look at Shaq. Let's just say it like this. Look at Shaq when he was playing with the Lakers, and then look at Shaq when he was playing with Orlando.
I've seen the one with Orlando. He was more lean. He had a little bit more speed and everything like that. And then with Shaq, I'm just saying, like, strength-wise and everything else like that, he was just – the dude was unstoppable. Like, when he started playing with other teams outside of the Lakers, that's when it was really kind of like, all right, Shaq's kind of on his last legs there. We all forgot. People actually forgot he played for the Phoenix Suns at one point.
Yeah, I mean, he was okay. He was decent. He was decent. He wasn't like he wasn't a complete shell of himself. Like he wasn't like dominating. He wasn't doing none of that shit. I would just say like he was doing okay. But when he got to Boston, that boy was mailing it in.
You can kind of think something there with that. But ladies and gentlemen, you guys let us know. I mean, do you think Steph Curry is a top 10 all-time player? If not, let us know why. If you do, let us know why. We gave all of our reasons and everything like that here. So you guys let us know what you think. The JAFFO's AP on Twitter, JAFFO Sports on Instagram for Native Rose Productions on both YouTube and on Facebook. Go follow, go subscribe, like, share it out to everybody. We got a little bit of everything for everybody with the production company. We didn't have the Logical Senses podcast on Friday, but the episode will be tomorrow night on Tuesday, 7 o'clock. Be prepared for that one. If you're going to be up, you might not be. I don't know. But it is going to be a very deep and very interesting conversation that you're going to be want to be a part of. Depending on how that conversation goes, will kind of depend on how long it'll be, just like the episode before did. But sorry to keep everybody waiting. But episode 2, at least the live version on the Native Rose Productions YouTube channel, will be tomorrow, and the Spotify ratings will be up shortly after that. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. Sunshine from the very beginning, hanging out with us, talking Formula One, Monaco race coming up football season's going to be starting to rear up and come soon. We're not going to have an episode on Wednesday. A lot of things going on. Wife is going with her sister. I'm going with my parents at Memorial Day weekend. Everything like that going on, and with work and stuff. So we won't be here on Wednesday. But next Monday, we will definitely know who will be in the finals. And but best believe in the moment, you will know whether or not my prediction of the Warriors sweeping the Mavs came true or not.
And
We'll see.
Of the Heat going to the finals.
Well, it's 2-2 right now. So we'll see, man. I want to be honest with you. Heat aren't getting the love I think they should be getting. A lot of people are kind of looking at stats and all this other kind of it's like, oh, it's just all around Celtics are just better. And then a lot of the callers that call in, basically they all have the same argument of character and heart is very different. Like the want to win, the drive, the competitive nature, and everything else, like the Miami Heat is getting overlooked. They do have the skill set. Tyler Hero did not play today. That kind of was a key contributor. Jimmy Butler was, playing essentially on a bum knee.
Hamstring.
So, it's 2-2. We'll see how that series. I said Celtics in 7.
I said you were drunk.
You said I was drunk, and then you picked the Heat in 6 just to be safe. You said. Mad Six is already out with his prediction. He called for a sweep, and that it's 2-2. It's obviously there's no sweep there, so that's completely out. But yeah, you guys appreciate it for hanging out with us on this Monday. We will see you guys next Monday, and then myself and AC will see you guys on Logical Senses podcast tomorrow at 7 p.m. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate Sunshine, Country K, JP, All Pro JAFFOs. We will see you guys next time. Deuces.
Aloha.